Hello, everyone.
大家好。
Welcome to Study in the USA program provided by the AIEF Education Foundation. Now, studying in the U.S. is both a challenge and an opportunity. Finding an ideal college and choosing the right major can potentially lay the foundation stone for your career. Now, when you first arrive in the U.S., you may find that American classroom culture is very different from what you're used to at home. And I agree, it is a challenge to try to fit into a different academic environment. But you need to be prepared if you want to succeed at an American university.
好，欢迎收看系列专题片《留学美国》节目。本节目是由美国教育基金会提供制作的。留学美国呢是一个机遇，同时也是一个挑战。找一所理想的大学，选择你想读的科系，是为你日后追求事业生涯做准备的绝佳时机。
对，那么今天我们将告诉大家如何适应美国的课堂文化，为学习做好准备。同学们到了美国，会发现美国的课堂文化和中国有相当大的不同。
传统中国式的学习方法是单向的，老师在上面教，课堂大部分时间都是老师在讲话。学生呢，总是静静地坐在自己的座位上抄写笔记，按着教科书上的内容循序渐进。回家以后呢，复习自己的笔记，准备考试。这种学习方式是比较被动的。
American study, the most different is like I remember when I was in China, they try to feed you as much information as possible. While in the U.S., they try to ask yourself, what do you want to learn, and how do you want to learn this, and you learn it by yourself.
我觉得在普林斯顿在这里，上课的时候，学生可以随时的打断老师来问问题。
In the Chinese educational system, the system was not based on learning by communication. The system was strictly based on receiving instructions from the professor and then passing exams. And you can become a top student in China without having to communicate with anyone. Here is a completely different culture. If you want to become a top student, not only do you have to do it, but you have to go around and talk to other people. You have to convince other people. Then you emerge as the leader. You cannot just become a top student by achieving high scores in an exam.
在美国，教授和学生之间的关系平易亲切，可以像朋友一样交流。美国大学教育也讲究自学 （self-learning） 和同学之间互相学习 （peer learning） 的过程。从思考、发问和切磋的过程中学习是很重要的。
In the United States, participating in the classroom by virtue of asking questions, coming forward with comments to other people's ideas, shows respect to the instructor. The instructor feels then that that person is not only listening to him or her, but interested in the subject matter. And so there's a synergy that's created between the instructor and the students, and between the students and each other. In that respect, I feel that the Chinese students have fit in very well with this kind of educational experience, and so I would encourage them to continue in this road, so to speak, of seeing the classroom as a place to participate and to interact.
课堂上的参与往往是学期分数的一部分。教授认为，课堂讨论才能评估你的学习效果，看你是否有能力与教授和同学进行讨论性的对话。光是作业做得好，而上课不发表意见的话，参与那部分的成绩是不会好的。
如果说老师要我们回答问题的话，他可以接受任何一种我们的回答，比如说非常的天马行空的回答，他们都可以接受，而且不会只说你这个回答不好啊，还是怎样，他们都是正面非常积极的encourage 学生去就是 improve 我们自己的思想阶层。
漫漫求学路，深深学子心。踏上100多年前先辈开创的留学之路，实现留学美国梦想。敬请收看20集专题系列片《留学美国》。
美国大学上课的其中一种方式是专题研讨 （seminar）。在上 seminar 的时候，学生分成小组和教授或助教就一个专题做讨论。研讨会的规模比较小，有时要学生轮流带领讨论。研讨会让学生有积极参与的机会，同样的，学生在事前也会有充足的准备。
Study group 通常是由助教带领学生讨论上课的题目或者是功课，这是同学之间切磋功课的好时机。如果有什么不懂的地方呢，也可以趁机向助教请教。
美国的课堂都有不少 group projects 小组计划，由老师分配或是自己寻找小组的成员，然后就一个题目进行研究计划。
美国的教育非常重视团队合作的经验，从小组计划中可以培养你与人合作和相处的能力以及领导能力。要在 group project 中得到好的成绩，单单是你个人的能力好还不够，你必须有领导能力和积极参与讨论，提出自己的意见以及解决问题的方案等等。小组计划的评分通常会包括组员彼此之间互相评价，因此团队合作的精神是非常非常重要的。中国同学们的英语尽管不能和美国人相比，但是你们的头脑是绝对不比他们差的。所以尽管大声地把自己的意见说出来，这样你会赢得同学们的尊敬。
We have a lot of simulations, in fact. It's really different from France, in fact, because in France, you are not used to that when you study. You don't have any group working, you know. And here, you cannot be shy because you always have to do something in public, like a presentation or something like that.
Independent research 独立研究是美国大学生活的重要一环。美国大学教育极为重视培养个人独立进行研究的能力。在课堂的研究报告中，常常需要你独立构思出一个研究题目，然后就题目进行研究，设计研究所需的步骤，例如需要哪些参考资料，如何进行研究，需要什么样的访问对象等等。教授及助教也会协助你以及解答你的问题。
A graduate classroom in the United States is very different from an academic classroom in other parts of the world. Students think it's very informal. They are responsible for assignments throughout the semester, not just a test at the end. They are expected to participate actively in classes. They're expected to ask questions of the professor and sometimes even challenge the professor. And so I think the academic adjustment is quite difficult for most international students. I think also the cultural adjustment issue that's most difficult is the requirement that students need to be independent and proactive. And they need to read things very carefully and really take responsibility for their own academic program.
走在美国校园里，你会看到同学西装笔挺的忙碌地准备 presentation 报告陈述。presentation 可能是个人或是小组的，以前常用投影片来发表报告，现在都改用 PowerPoint 了，加上各种动画和音效，非常生动。presentation 可以训练你公众演说的技巧，训练你的胆量和口才，对于将来进入社会是很有用的。
对，在美国大学会得到全面的训练，因为美国大学研究生院的专业五花八门，课程的规定也不同。在美国读书没有死读死背这一套，老师呢常常规定学生走出课堂，去外面做研究、调查报告或是实习，作为成绩的一部分。例如心理系的学生可能需要到医院去实习，人类学的同学需要做现场调查等，这都会是很有趣也极富挑战性的工作。同学可以接触到各式各样不同的人。国内和国外的环境是有很大的区别的，同学们刚来到美国，初来乍到，大开眼界，对于陌生的学习环境要怎样适应呢？
没关系，刚到美国不习惯英语环境，上课时老师和同学讲话又很快，会觉得不适应，甚至有挫折感，这是很常见的。同学们不必灰心，教你一个办法，可以带一个小的录音机到教室，把上课的情况全部都录下来，回去反复听，不但能够复习功课，而且日子长了，听力一定也就会进步了。
这个办法是真不错，同学们不妨试一试。说到听力，既然已经来到了美国，身处英语环境，这就是你提高英语的大好时机。同学们一定要把握这个机会，打开心胸，多和美国人交朋友，认识他们的文化。
比如和美国人住同一个宿舍，参加社团活动、聚会等等，都是课外与美国人交流的好机会。无形中，自然你的听说能力都会增强，而且可以学到书本上所学不到的美国生活俚语和口语。
美国人大多都很友善、乐观和热情，他们既懂得读书，也懂得享受生活。和他们交友，一同玩乐，会是课后极好的消遣。最好不要光与自己国家的学生或朋友泡在一起，这样英文是得不到提高的。
Be more open-minded and be more communicate more with others. Because I've seen some Chinese students come here and they only speak Chinese, they only stay in the little Chinese circle, and you know their English was as poor as when they came after 2 or 3 years, and they feel life is very bad here because nobody talks to them. But you know, more times if you look into yourself, you know, do you try to talk with others, right? When your Westerner colleagues or classmates try to make friends with you, did you turn them down or something?
I would say that they should prepare themselves to use their independent nature. I would characterize life in Los Angeles or life in any big city as one where those who are the initiators and those who have more of an independent spirit and take risks end up being the happiest. So I would say that they should do things such as prepare themselves to ask a lot of questions, to look in newspapers or publications, attend events, even if one has to go by oneself, to be the person who speaks to someone else first rather than waiting for someone to speak to you first, to seek out whatever your interests are and join clubs, to be the person who is the first to say, well, let's get together, or what's your telephone number, or to go up to someone on the street and say, where is X street, rather than relying on doing your own research. Because the more you reach out, the more likely you are to meet people, to have a good experience, and to practice your language at the same time.
要想真正获得留学美国的特别经验，参加学校俱乐部、运动组织、学生会等都可促进社交生活。在当地社会方面，你可加入一些服务组织及教会活动、义工组织及接待家庭，参与课外活动益处多多，也是解除压力的方式。在课堂上应该多参与课堂的活动，像我们之前所提到，
课堂参与讨论往往是分数的一部分。如果因为上课不开口而得不到应有的好成绩，那可是划不来的。多参与讨论，互相交流意见，你才会体验到美式教育的精髓。
My advice for students who are coming to study in the United States is really to get ready to participate at a different level and get ready to be in classes that are very different from what they've had in the past. They're going to have so many new experiences with university life, with different people, with different kinds of people, and everything. Television, traffic, weather, it's all new and it's all unique. And to jump in with both feet, to use an idiom, to jump in with both feet, to be enthusiastic about the change, and to really experience university and college life to its fullest.
Don't be afraid to try new things, to expose yourself to all kinds of curriculums, and to meet with new people, make new friends from all kinds of backgrounds. That really broadens your vision and makes you a more interesting person, a more mature person.
您想了解托福考试的最新变化吗？您想顺利通过新托福考试吗？您想走进理想中的美国大学学堂，实现人生的转折和飞跃吗？敬请收看《留学美国》。
学期的第一堂课，教授会发给你一份 syllabus， 就是学期进度表，上面有老师的联络方式 office hours， 也就是办公时间，每一次上课的主题、阅读的内容、作业、考试时间等等。那么 syllabus 等于是这门课的圣经一样，要好好的看清楚 syllabus， 了解老师对阅读、作业和考试的要求。
美国大学尤其是文科的课，要阅读的材料是出奇的多，一个星期往往要你看完300到400页书，要是一个字一个字的看，恐怕是吃不消的。你得懂得 skim and scan 的技巧，看重点 keywords。到了美国校园呢，千万别忽视了团队学习的好处，踊跃参加学习小组，和同学们一起讨论不会的功课。这样呢，既可以事半功倍，又可以营造良好的氛围。同学、助教、教授都是你的宝贵资源，一定要善加利用，才能使学习更加顺利。出国求学遇到困难，千万不要闭门造车，要勇于开口，不耻下问。美国老师鼓励同学发问常说的一句话 ：“There's nothing as a stupid question。”什么问题不懂都可以问，不要害羞。
Advice. A lot of students that I've met who are international students, they're very well prepared to come here in the first place, but just to feel settled and at home here, just to feel comfortable, because when you're comfortable, you know, you don't hold back anything. And I think an important thing is just to be open to all the resources, all the opportunities that UCL has to offer, especially just the students as well. Because when you're involved in school, it gives you a sense of belonging, and it gives you confidence. And when you hold back, that's when you lose the full experience of UCLA. So I think do as much as you can, get involved, because when you get involved, say in a student group, there's more than just student groups on campus. There are philanthropy projects, and you get to know the city. You go out and you do community service, and you get to know the community. So I think that would be like just an addition to the experience here at UCLA that would be beneficial.
Well, I remember when I first came, I was kind of like a high school student. You know, I just came out of college. I didn't really know anything about research. And I was taught step by step, like to do things independently and think about things independently and have a view myself on what I'm doing. And I also know how to guide others. Like
大家可能会想，美国大学学费那么贵，这些学费都用到哪里去了呢？其实啊，除了雄伟的建筑和绿草如茵的校园，美国大学提供了非常丰富的学习资源让学生享用，学生应该多发掘、多利用才划算。
大学提供哪些资源呢？学业辅导是其中之一。大学入学时，学校会帮你安排一个辅导老师，辅导你选课、选主修课程等，并定期会面。在学业上有问题时，可以帮助你。 在有些学校，学生也可以自行选择辅导老师，通常是系所或修课的教授。
美国教授一般都通结人情，愿意通过个人办公室辅导帮你了解课程，他们也愿意提供改进学习习惯的建议，建议你如何取得其他方面的信息。
There are so many resources on campus, and I think any student who would come to UCLA should take full advantage of it. Academically, there are not only your counselors, but there are your professors. And as intimidating as it may be, because these professors come from such, they're so knowledgeable, and they come from such backgrounds as, you know, they're doctors, they're scientists or whatnot, and in class they speak and they might intimidate you, but when you come to them, they're so supportive of everything that you do.
另外一种大学普遍提供的服务是课业辅导 tutoring。如果你在某一门科目上有问题的话，你都可以向系所申请一个负责该科目课业辅导的 tutor， 1对1的在课后帮助你解决不会的问题。
对于留学生来说，非常有帮助的另一种服务是写作指导。大学内一般都设有写作服务中心，你可以向 advisor 导师或国际学生中心查询。这种服务是专人指导你的写作技巧，并帮你校对论文。
交作业之前，别忘了先请专人替你看一看你的文法和文章是否通顺，意思表达是否清楚。让他们改完之后，看看自己错在哪些地方，对方又给了你哪些建议，从中学习写作技巧，你的写作也会因此而进步。写作中心呢，常常开设讲座，教授写作的技巧和诀窍，同学们千万不要错过了。
We have an office dedicated to just addressing the needs of international student programs. So we have a number of dedicated staff who are there each and every day, available all day long for drop-ins, just to talk to students about whatever issues or things may come up. That's one area. Special programs we have a special orientation. It's a week-long for all international students once they get here.
除了学校资源，美国教育基金会特别为留学生设立的留学信息网站 3w.uscampus.com 含有丰富的留学和美国生活信息，就像一个网上的留学生之家，能帮助你解决疑难，同学们可以多多的利用。
对，
要在美国大学做一个出色的学生，需要积极去了解和适应美国的学习文化，调整个人的学习态度，培养独立思考能力、研究精神和发表个人的见解，在学业上才能获得成功。美国的校园生活是充满趣味和挑战的，祝你们成功。
That's right. Now, if you want to succeed on a U.S. campus, you have to understand and be accustomed to the academic culture in the United States. You also need to be prepared to think, study, and research independently. Learn to form your opinions coherently, and do not be afraid of speaking out. I'm sure you will succeed if you can get all this down. The life on an American campus is full of challenges and excitements. Good luck.
再见。
Bye-bye.